Alright guys, got a big friggin' update for you here guys. I bought a big lot of stuff off of my buddy Sam, who is indeed a reoccurring name on my channel throughout the years if you guys have been keeping up with me for a good long while. He was in my band Apotheosis, of which is kind of not doing anything anymore, and he was selling off pretty much the rest of his metal collection other than a select few. So I picked it up from him, and you know, I gotta show it. You know, and I want to put it away. So there's a fat lot here, so I'm just going to cut into it. We're listening to Matus by Polhast in the background. So yeah, I'm just going to cut into it. The first two are classic stuff that I've just been putting off because I wanted these versions in particularly. So they're digipacks. I put them in the little sleeve things already, so I got to take them out. Two albums by Darkthrone. Digibook for Blaze in the Northern Sky, plus the Fender's commentary. Classic record with the cool books in here. You guys have all heard this. I mean, it's got tons of classic Darkthrone tunes. The opening track, Ethereal Life Code, one of the best Darkthrone tunes. Where Cold Winds Blow, great tune. This is the last one with Zephyrius, or however you pronounce the guy's name. And then the Transylvanian Hunger digibook. Again, classic friggin' record. And I love the Fender's commentary. The guy's an absolute hoot. He's one of the people, if you're like, oh, if you could have three musicians to like eat supper with or sit at a bar or whatever with, he would definitely be one of them. That'd be quite the fun time. Darkthrone. Next, punk rock, man. G.G. Allen, Rock and Roll Terrorist. So this is a 2-disc set, and there's no back cover because the version he had did not have the back cover, which is okay. I could figure something out with that, but as of right now, I don't have an extra jewel case for the two. So I just put them in these to keep the discs in good condition. G.G. Allen, you guys all know who that is. You got to. This is all going to be pretty, I don't want to say entry-level stuff, but there's nothing superbly underground whatsoever in here. It's mostly a lot of holes getting filled in my collection. But G.G. Allen, this is more the gritty G.G. Allen. Got lots of nastiness to it. He starts getting a little bit of almost metallic with some of the harsh vocals that he does there. It's a great 2-disc set. Next, 3 albums by a classic band. This is Seeds of Horror, the Jeff Hanneman demos in 1985. This is a bootleg Slayer demo comp. It's got demos of Angel of Death, Raining Blood, South of Heaven, Spill the Blood. Yeah, there's some punk tunes on here, stuff that I'm not super familiar with, but I'm really excited because I don't know what the song Seeds of Horror is. I haven't listened to this yet. Yeah, I'm excited to have it though. An album you guys have heard me say I don't care much for. South of Heaven. I don't love this album at all, but you know, Spill the Blood's on here is cool. Descendant Aggressor's a good tune. Silent Scream. Mandatory Suicide. You know, there's a couple tunes that are good on here, but I wouldn't say I'm a fan of it. And Seasons in the Abyss. This is minorly better, marginally better. Actually, I'd say it's quite a bit better because I like a lot of these tunes on here. War Ensemble, Blood Red, Spirit and Black, Expendable Youth. Basically, the only tune I'm not super into is the title track. And the song Temptation. I don't really know it all that well, but yeah, Seasons in the Abyss, not a bad Slayer album. 2 from a doom metal band called Windhand. Their first album. I don't even want to take these out. I don't feel like it. And Grief's Infernal Flower. This is a female-fronted, like, old-school doom metal band. Really, really good stuff. It's something I've been wanting to get into. I just never went ahead and bought the CDs. And I remember he was into these for quite some time. I've heard these quite a bit through hanging out with him, you know, driving in the car and stuff. Especially the Grief's Infernal Flower album. So I'm excited to add these to the collection. Next thing I got here is going to be an album that I traded to him. This is The New Order by Testament. This is my favorite Testament album, probably. This or Practice What You Preach. I'm glad I got it back. I wanted it. I got it on a trip in like Maryland or something like that. It's some awesome record store in Frederick, Maryland. If you guys are ever around there, this is a really nice record store, and I forgot the name of it. I have a sticker on my guitar case from it, and I don't remember. No, that's put away. But yeah, classic Testament tune, or classic Testament record. Next, Heartwork by Carcass. Gotta have it, man. Absolutely got to have this one. It's basically the birth of straight up melodic death metal. You guys have heard of this. I mean, it's hard for me to describe things that you guys have to know. Speaking of, 4 albums by Motorhead. 1916. Great. Overkill. Yeah, this is really all just filling in holes in the collection. Capricorn's on here, might be the best one. Damage Case actually is probably the best tune on here. Live at Hammersmith, or No Sleep Till Hammersmith, live record. Great set list. This must have been a hoot to be at, gotta tell you. And Iron Fist, another classic Motorhead release. Classic tunes on here, man. Shut It Down, Sex and Outrage, Loser, I'm the Doctor, the tune Iron Fist. Great one. Filling in a Hole, Monolith of Inhumanity by Cattle Decapitation. One of the best ones for sure. Gristle Liquor's a nasty one. Do Not Resuscitate, The Monolith, Kingdom of Tyrants is a cool tune. A Living, Breathing Piece of Defecating Meat. Cool tune. Cadaver, Berlin. Cadaver is like a stoner doom, stoner rock band. I would probably put them more on the rock side, with bands more like Graveyard and stuff like that. But it's really, really fun. It's catchy. It's got a nice drive to it. I actually almost bought this a week or two ago, maybe almost a month at this point. But I'm just glad I picked it up. I didn't even know he had it. The last Lost Society album worth owning. Brain Dead. Even this one has a couple stinky bits on it. But the tune Riot on here is awesome. Hangover Activator. I Am the Antidote's okay. Mad Torture's cool. Hallowed Eyes. I like the California easy listening version of Terror Hungry. But yeah, this is the last great Lost Society album. R.I.P. to a great band, man. 2 albums by Mastodon, The Hunter, and Once More Around the Sun. This is quite the departure from the sludge metal of Leviathan and Remission, which is what I prefer. But I figured I'd want to get these at some point anyway, and I got a good deal on it, so why not toss them in there, fill in the holes. 3 albums by the one and only Morbid Angel, Blessed Are the Sick, Covenant, and Gateways to Annihilation. These 2 are my favorite Morbid Angel albums, and I didn't even own them. My band used to cover the tune Day of Suffering, which is a absolute banger of a Morbid Angel tune. But this is, chock full of classics. Fall from Grace, Thy Kingdom Come, Desolate Ways. And Covenant. Some people kind of hate on this. I've noticed a lot of people don't like Covenant. Which is weird, because I thought this was considered a classic generally. But Angel of Disease is on here, Rapture. All the classic tunes. Sworn to the Black. And Gateways to Annihilation. Sludgy, absolute masterpiece of a death metal album. The tune, He Who Sleeps, is my favorite Morbid Angel tune of all time. Great one. You think they might have been listening to early 90s Bathory? Maybe. I can't tell. 2 from Pantera. Just trying to fill them in, man. The Great Southern Trend Kill and Far Beyond Driven. I don't even want to talk about them. You guys know that. 2 classic albums from a Norwegian black metal band that I don't own. Now I do, at least. This is Diabolical Full Moon Mysticism. Great one. Cold Winds and Funeral Dust. Perfect vision of the rising Northland. The Call of the Winter Moon opens it up. Classic stuff. The general consensus of being the best Immortal album, Battles in the North. Glad to finally have an actual copy of this. Bless Your Mighty Raven Dark's on here. Grim and Frostbitten Kingdoms, which is absolutely an awesome tune. You know, you heard it. I feel like I'm saying that a lot in this video. 2 albums from Pallbearer, Heartless and Foundations of Burden. Another kind of new traditional doom metal band that has gotten pretty popular over the past couple of years. So glad to have some, glad to jam some. Another album that was once mine. Scumdogs of the Universe by Gwar. This is a band that was a really big part of me being young. I loved Gwar, but I don't really listen to it much at all. My favorite tune on here is definitely the Slamanizer, the opening track. King Queen's funny, Slaughterama's good, Sick of You is like a staple of the live show. Great one. Megadeth. Killing is my business and business is good. Been needing this one. Absolute top shelf Megadeth. Second favorite album, I'd say. Right behind So Far So Good So What. I love the speed metal attack. You could definitely tell Dave felt something to prove with this album. Punk rock. Fresh Fruit and Rotten Vegetables by the Dead Kennedys. One of the few punk bands I actually listen to. I don't even know what this is. Little poster, it looks like, that came with the disc. This has got some classics on here. I mean, Kill the Poor's on here. When You Get Drafted, Let's Lynch the Landlord, Chemical Warfare, Chemical Warfare. That's it. Yeah, that's probably one of my favorites. What else is on here? I Kill Children, California Uber Alice, and Holiday in Cambodia are probably the 2 big tunes on there. Next, another band in the vein of Pallbearer, Curse of Conception by Spirit Adrift. Some classic doom stylings with this has a little bit more of a heavy metal tinge, which is something I'm really hyped on getting into. This is a band that I know has gotten really big, and obviously it's half of Gatecreeper, or was, because I know Nate's not in there anymore, and Chase isn't in this anymore, so yeah, Spirit Adrift. 2 that I needed, Tomb of the Mutilated and Eaten Back to Life. I didn't realize that this was such a pain in the keister to get a hold of, so I'm glad to have Eaten Back to Life. Case is broke, but that's whatevs. This is a nasty one. I mean, Shredded Humans, classic, Born in a Casket, Scattered Remains, Splattered Brains, Skull Full of Maggots. I used to, like, when I wore the thrash caps in, like, high school, I had one that just said Skull Full of Maggots and big letters on it. So that was fun. And yeah, come on. What do I gotta say? Man. Great speed metal record. From Beyond by Enforcer. I listened to this album at the skate park a month or 2 ago. Jerry Gurney, if you guys have ever heard of him, he's a pro skater on Blood. He was on Blood Wizard skateboards. I don't know who he rides for anymore, but he has a couple parts, and he literally only has Enforcer in the background. So this is a great speed metal, kind of traditional heavy metal release. There's nothing not to love about this. Go listen to the tune Undying Evil, or not, yeah, Undying Evil, the second track on here. Three albums by one band. Self-titled, Suicidal Tendencies, Lights, Camera, Revolution, and still Psycho after all these years. I've had these 2 on tape for a multitude of years, and yeah, classic Suicidal. not the hugest fan of this band, but you know, I'm here to jam, so I'm gonna have to get into it. Let's Camera Revolution. You Can't Bring Me Down's the opening track, which is probably the best tune Suicidal ever did for me. Send Your Money's on here. Disco's Out, Murder's In's funny. And still Psycho after all these years. I mean, Institutionalized, War Inside My Head, Possessed, I Saw Your Mommy, Fascist Pig. Great record. 2 albums by The Sword, another band of my youth, Gods of the Earth. Just haven't gotten around to buying this, something I've been meaning to, just haven't done it. This is a really good stoner metal album, and this is an acoustic stoner album, Low Country by The Sword. They have this, and then there's High Country, which is like an electrified album. I don't know if they're the same songs or not. Obviously, I only have Low Country, so maybe I'll get into that one of these years. Next, classic, gotta take it out of the sleeve to show. Been putting off buying it. It's another thing like the Slayer albums I've talked about before. I've just had them for so long. I've known them for so long, I just can't justify buying it. But Black Metal by Venom, the useless slipcase of which I won't throw out, but which I had the balls to. Here's the inside. I can't say much that hasn't already been said. This is potentially the most important album in metal history. One of them, at least, definitely not the most important, but on the extreme bands, definitely one of them. I think there's no dispute there. Deep Purple in concert. Proto metal, barely metal, but they have their spot on my metal shelf in the proto metal section. Great live album. It's 2 full concerts. It is a 70 set with Speed King, Child in Time, Ring That Neck, and Mandrake Root, and then a live show in 72. Great one. It's basically, I think it's the entire Machine Head album played live. So yeah, gotta have it. Absolutely gotta have it. Thrash classic, Beneath the Remains by Sepultura. Absolutely adore this album. One of the most fun ones I could think of. I mean, Inner Self is on here. Sarcastic Existence. Lobotomy. I won't listen to the bonus tracks, but whatever. And one of the only deathcore albums I care to own. Thy Art Is Murder's Holy War. This one and Hate by Thy Art Is Murder, and maybe the first one that I completely forgot the name of, are stuff that I actually will buy and listen to. I'll probably get Hate eventually, the original uncensored cover, which the fact that gets censored, man, people are absolute babies. Yeah, so yeah, Light Bearer is on here. This is just a great record. I really, really love this album. It's catchy, it's fun, and this will get you hyped, man. This is the type of stuff you could lift weights to, like this. You throw this on, or just like, I like brutal death metal, and this has a lot of groove to it, like brutal death metal has. So that's cool. If you are a deathcore fan, really go check this out. Go listen to stuff like Fur and Claw or Coffin Dragger. I know that there's some people hate the breakdowns. I think they're stupid heavy, but I love it. Thy Art Is Murder. So that's going to be it for this one, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll have a couple other videos up here pretty soon, so keep it greasy.